Hi team, my name is Grace and alongside Patrick, today we are going to be looking into and discussing the implementation of performance-based pay. But first, what is it? Performance-based pay is an extrinsic financial incentive for employees, financially rewarding workers for how well they have performed over a certain period of time. This reward system is used to encourage and improve employees' future performance. When looking at pay for performance-based systems, it can be categorized into three different forms: individual, group, and organizational. Individual performance pay schemes rely on individual performance. Individual rewards include merit pay, which are increases to base pay established by formal performance reviews, commission-based pay, such as sales agents that make money off of each sale they accomplish, and piece rate pay, which rewards employees for their output of goods or services produced rather than their input. Group incentives are based on the collaborative result of a team or even multiple interdependent teams. Common collective incentives are profit sharing, when bonuses are paid out to an employee based on a company's total net profit; gain sharing, when results are achieved comparing to a group's performance relative to their historical benchmarks; goal sharing, where bonuses are paid out to a team when future set goals are succeeded; and team incentives, rewards paid out when a team displays self-sufficiency and collaboration with its team. Lastly, organizational incentives are mainly created for employee performance long term. Its incentives focus on employees' ability to stay loyal to the company and are most likely presented in the form of business equity. These are granted in share bonuses when employees are gifted with equity shares, share purchase plans, giving employees the opportunity to purchase shares typically at a discounted rate, and share options, similar to share purchase, however the stocks are only available to purchase after a designated date. Performance-based pay is a popular payment scheme for many companies. As seen, it is presented in various forms. However, each method, when used in the proper suitable way, can be beneficial in providing motivation and higher productivity to employees. So let's take a look at how it's been used in real-life cases. During the mid-90s, Japanese electronic manufacturers Fujitsu and NEC introduced an individual incentive merit pay system. Both companies linked employee performance to base pay and short-term achievement bonuses. Reviews were conducted every 6 to 12 months depending on job roles. Studies conducted by Mitsuhashi and Nakamura observed that by introducing this structure, teams were more likely to set specific goals, which in turn drove team to be more goal-orientated and achievement-focused. This, coupled with supervisor-provided feedback every 6 months, opened communication and set clear expectations for employees. By allowing team members to be ultra-focused on tasks, it raised motivation to achieve these tasks and provide high-value results towards their goals. Another example is world-renowned tech company Apple Incorporated. In 2015, they announced that they were introducing stock grants to all employees. By this time, staff had access to their own purchase program, which allowed stock purchase at a discounted rate. However, this change made headlines, as this type of organizational incentive, which was usually reserved for higher-up corporate employees, was now being offered to all workers, including retail and call center staff. Initial stock grants ranged from $1,000 to $2,000 in the form of restricted stock units. Although these stock units are granted, employees must stay retained with the company for 3 years before they are able to sell these stocks. By using long-term incentive, such as restricted stock units, which are paid over a period, this encourages loyalty to the business. Lastly, small convenience store chain Highview faced issues regarding declining sales, a high inventory shrinkage, poor store appearance, as well as employee and managers' disregard concerning compliance of company standards and regulations. After witnessing these difficulties, a commission-based salary was installed for store managers that directly linked to the store total sales, in addition to annual performance bonuses associated with percentage of inventory shrinkage and store appearance. These modifications empowered store managers to assume responsibility of their own store and drive success. A year after its application, results from the performance pay were substantial. Although the company increased their payroll budget, the increase in revenue enabled Highview to offset this payroll increase. Managers displayed an upsurge in their productivity via growth in sales by 5.3% and, more significantly, a reduction in inventory loss by 80.73% across all stores. Highview's store success demonstrates the direct correlation between performance-based pay accomplishing a higher productivity within staff.
Implementing anything into a business is a challenge, and the business must consider all facets that are impacted. Implementing a performance-based pay system is no different. Some challenges that must be considered when implementing a performance-based pay system include employee selfishness, infighting between employees, information hoarding, immoral sales techniques, and staff turnover. These challenges will be further explored using real-life instances. At Microchip Technology, a worldwide enterprise, they found that while using commission sales workers, that in some instances, when it came to choosing between clients, that even though one of these clients would create larger revenue for the business, they would not choose this client because they were offshore and would choose a company that would create smaller revenue nearby due to their location, as that will be where the salesman makes the most commission. These decisions are obviously negatively impacting the company. This is reiterated by Alfie Kohn, who states that when financial incentives are there, people only think of the money itself and ignore all other aspects of the company. When commission sales workers are driven by the sole purpose to make as much money as possible through commissions, this can encourage them to aggressively, deceptively, or negligently sell products to consumers who cannot afford them. In instances where the extrinsic motivator of cash rewards employees for work they have done, issues within a company can arise. Alfie Kohn suggests that if the only goal is to obtain money, then it can also create a negative competition between employees and ruin cooperative work relationships. At Bamboo HR, they found that when they moved from commission-based sales, that they quickly noticed the willingness of sales reps to help each other has improved as the normal friction linked to commissions has gone away, and that removing the monetary-based incentive did not reduce the productivity of employees as they were just as motivated intrinsically. This demonstrates that during the time Bamboo HR were using commission-based sales, that there were instances in excessive in-house competition between sales workers, which can lead to customer poaching and hoarding of market information, resulting in a negative work environment and the inability for other salesmen to complete their jobs to a high standard. Employee retention is a challenge faced by all companies. Long-term pay incentives are regularly used in an attempt to keep employees at a company for longer, especially those in high positions and those who perform above the standard regularly. Tom McMullen, who is a rewards expertise leader at Korn Ferry, a $2.53 billion company, stated that there is no evidence to support that a monetary reward will improve engagement or loyalty, and usually it still results in employee turnover. What motivates us? Based on Daniel Pink's video, Drive, The Surprising Truth About What Motivates Us, he mentions a study done at MIT that discovers pay-based performance as a motivator works in instances where jobs require mechanical skill. Although, once a job requires basic cognitive skill, an increase in reward resulted in poorer performance. Thus, for jobs that require imaginative and abstract thinking, pay for performance is shown not to incentivize workers to complete their tasks. These challenges need to be considered when implementing a reward system, as a balance needs to be found between intrinsic and extrinsic motivations for employees. As Daniel Pink states, if you don't pay people enough, they won't be motivated. But if you pay people enough to take the issue of money off the table, there are 3 factors that lead to better performance and personal satisfaction. These 3 factors are autonomy, mastery, and purpose. This perfectly describes the balance of extrinsic and intrinsic rewards required to increase motivation and higher productivity.
Although theoretically, performance-based pay seems motivating and likely to increase employee productivity, as shown through this presentation, it is not always a guarantee. There are many aspects that should be taken into consideration by companies to ensure a performance-based pay system is suitable for them, and if so, which variation best suits the requirements for the employee and the company. Thank you for your time.